What up? It's your boy T-Bear here in Reaction. Today's Music Monday. About to get into some So What's Up. Salute the floppy disk from the homie DJ Premier, aka Primo. And this is one of his gangsta joints right here. This is a tough one right here called Colder Street. So without further ado, let's hear the story behind how him and the late great Guru put down this dope track right here, Colder Street. Let's get it.
I'm DJ Premier and I present to you So What's Up.
You know how it goes.
Okay, computer. Run it back.
So what's up?
Not sure I did the routine right, but you know what it is.
Okay, this is an episode that a lot of people have been requesting, but I had to find the other parts of, not just the floppy disk, the other part, and I'll explain the other part after I show you the floppy disk of the latter.
Of course, he always has some dope album cover, and that's a nice one there. Emma Franklin, Soul Sister, I like the cover, and I like that Soul Sister fro she got going on in the background. I love it.
Of the other part. The album Hard to Earn, Gangstar. 1994 was the release of the album, but 1993 was when we were releasing singles. Mass Appeal was one of our singles. And this one, which I'll go ahead and grab the disc early. Code of the Streets. This is a long, but not too long. Like Ghostface Killer said, not long is how long this one took us. So, dig this.
Okay, here we go.
I do a lot of let's go back all the time. There's a big reason why we got to go back to 1992. Yes. VHS.
Ooh. Sorry.
VHS.
Oh shit.
What is it? IYK. If you know,
you know.
I just want to make sure I had the letters right. Okay. Dig this. You see that right there? I'm going to hold it for a minute.
Ooh.
In 1992, August 24th, it's actually my parents' wedding anniversary.
Hey.
Crime Chronicles. It was an investigative report by the WWOR TV I-Team. It was about stealing cars, all right? Now, Guru produced a song called The Wars of the World. That song ended up being Code of the Streets later, but it was called Wars of the World due to this. Now I'm gonna show you the clip of this, and now Guru produced the original track. The drums are the same. I just rebounced it my way to give it the primo bounce, but this is his production, and you'll see before getting on to be a star in his own right. It features J. Rue the Damager, Lil Dap from the group home, and Biggest Gord, who was our tour manager and ran one of my labels, Year Round Records, and just one of my college friends from Texas, which is how I met Gordon, and that's how we started to transition our friendship into me moving to New York to stay with his family. Shout to the Franklin family, shout to his brother Gary, shout to his mother Marilyn, shout to Arden, rest in peace. We call them Reds, all Trinidadians. So shout to all the Trinis out there. Yeah, I learned a lot about the food and just the whole culture from living with that family. Take a look at this, and then we'll get to the rest of it.
Here we go.
Boom.
Oh, yep. Before he had a drizzle on.
Take this, for example, young brothers want rep, cause in the life they're living, you can't have step. It starts with the young ones doing crime for fun, and if you ain't down, you'll get played out, son. So let's get a car, you know, a fly whip. Get a then pull a screwdriver and be off quick with the dope ride, yeah, and the rowdy crew. We could bag us a Benz and an Audi too. Even a Jeep or van, oh man, we're getting ours, yo. Take a trip up the strip and be like Starr, so it doesn't matter if the cops be scoping, they can't do jack, that's why young brothers open. To do anything, anywhere, any place. Stimulation so that we can erase the wrongs of the world, what is born.
Wow.
The wrongs of the world.
I like this pretty though too.
They might say that we're a menace to society, but at the same time I say, why is it me? Am I the target for destruction? What about the system and total corruption? I can't work at no fast food joint, I got some talent, so don't you get my point? I'll organize some brothers and get crazy loot, selling DRUGS's and clocking dollars true, cause the fat dough, yo, that suits me fine. I gotta have it so I can leave behind all the poverty, never having, always needing. If a sucker steps up, then I leave him bleeding. I gotta get mine, I can't take no shorts. And while I'm selling, here's a flash report. Organized crime, they get theirs on the down low. Here's the ticket, you wanna bet on a horse show? You got to be a pro, do what you know. When you're dealing with the wrongs of the world, wrongs of the world, wrongs of the world. Word is born, wrongs of the world, wrongs of the world, wrongs of the world. Word is born, wrongs of the world.
Good evening. I'm Joe Collum of the Channel 9 I-Team, and welcome to Crime Chronicles. Like the song says, there are a lot of wrongs in the world.
Wow.
And crime is at or near the top of the list.
It's crazy.
Tonight, an examination of crime, and it's
Crazy how like that was a thing for a while too. Like a lot of news specials using like rappers to promote the message and all of that, no matter what type of rap they was, just to get young folks to tune in and all of that as well too. Like that was the thing to do around the time, man. I mean that and it works and it worked for real too. I mean they started getting a little peaceful on that, and despite what the rappers was rapping on their own records, they still will make time to make some peaceful stuff to send a message out as well too, and get young eyes on the news of what's going on around the world. So this was good.
impact. For the next 60 minutes, we're going to take you into the streets of New York City and New Jersey. We're going to look at crime through the eyes of car thieves, drug dealers, and mobsters who have led lives of crime. We're also going to look at the victims who they preyed upon and the police who are trying to stop them. When we come back, Crime Chronicles.
Wow.
Up next, stealing cars just for fun.
I don't see any difference between a kid with a stolen car, a 2,000-pound car, and a kid with an Uzi. What's the difference?
There they go.
Now that you saw this, let's get back to this. When we were working on the album, and I had already seen the Crime Chronicles, and we were maybe a song or two short from finishing the album, I was like, Goo, do you have the rights to that song, or do they own it? He said, no, we have the rights after it was released on the TV show. We have the rights to it. I said, that fits the Hard to Earn album. Not only is Hard to Earn the title, and it's the first album I titled, because Guru has always titled the album.
Oh, okay.
He said, I want you to title the next album. Hard to Earn was what I came up with. Code of the Streets is the reason why I like the fact that Guru decided to change the name. Is when he changed the name to that, but he said he's gonna keep the lyrics the same. As you saw on that video clip, some of the lyrics were just slightly altered, besides him calling it the War of the World. But when it came to him saying Code of the Streets, oh. Wait a minute. I gotta explain something else before I get to the rest of this. It's okay to back up again. Back up.
Here we go.
The shirt I'm wearing right now, I gotta shout out April Walker from Walker Wear.
Okay.
All right. Now the reason why I say that is because she was our stylist for that album cover, and that's when we started rocking Walker Wear in that era. But this shirt that she sent to me is special because if you zoom in, this is a letter from Tupac, rest in peace, when he was in Denimora in Clinton Correctional Facility. And this is the letter he wrote to April, and she still had the letter. So she made a shirt which contains his handwriting to April. So this is very special to go along with the fact that she styled our album. And us wearing Walker Wear gear. If you know, even one of the closest ones you can see the Walker Wear is when we on the Mass Appeal cover, 12-inch. You can see it. And Code of the Streets artwork has us from a shot from the Mass Appeal video, so you can't really see any Walker Wear. But just the fact that it's synonymous with that era and her doing this particular shirt, which as you see, it's even extra special. Now moving back to this. When we were wrapping up the album, Guru said, I'm going to change the title to Code of the Streets instead of Wars of the World. I was like, okay. Immediately, first thing came to my mind was a Morse code scratch. So I looked for records that had just a tone. Back in our era of the 90s, a lot of records and battle records and break records would have just all these stabs and sounds from classic records that we appreciate. And I found the code of just that burp. Of course, when I broke it down, I said, I'm going to make it sound like Morse code. When we were young kids growing up in the 80s and 70s, messages were sent through Morse code. Western Union, all that stuff in the early 70s and going into the 80s. You would have to say ... dash dot. That stood for a certain letter or a saying, and it would be that, and that's how it would go. That was all in my mind state when I thought of the scratch idea. So when Being at the Beat was already produced by Guru, I said, let me take the
my bag. I thought my phone was ringing. I heard it on buzzing. She must be lit something upstairs.
Drums and reprogram it with a little more of a skip, the way I do it. And you can tell the difference when you hear the Gangstar version. And other than that, shout to Monk Higgins, a legend. We sampled that record and got it cleared through Monk Higgins' estate, and we were able to use it as is and just re-loop it to my drum bounce. So it was a very easy one to do, but one of my favorite records, and definitely one of the biggest records that pops off when we do our shows with Gangstar and when I do just DJ gigs.
Okay.
Now, as we always say,
Here we go.
the sounds are contained on these floppy disks, you know what I'm saying? Flat, boom, bow, but just to store it on these little things back in those days, and with a little bit of sample time, we still came out with just classic sounds that you could never deny in our era of hip hop, which still is what they call the golden era, and I'll accept that. It's all good because it was a golden era during that time. So many groups, so much respect, and so much heat of bangers, including us. So this right here is used on a device called the Akai S950. That was our go-to back in that time, and it was triggered and manipulated and programmed on the same brand, Akai MPC60.
And keep an eye out for that for today's Music Monday.
And I also used
Hopefully.
the MPC62. Didn't see a difference in it. It was the Roger Lynn era. Shout to Roger Lynn, a classic icon of equipment and just technology early before it got to the point of where things are now. And then I guess it's about that time, as you know, when we load this disc into the S950 and then link it up to the MPC60 through the process of what we call MIDI, M-I-D-I. Transfer that through a code called SMPTE, S-M-P-T-E, and that is how they all talk to each other onto what we call 2-inch recording tape. We were not in Pro Tools or digital, we were on tape, and if you missed a punch, you could not hit the button undo. It did not exist yet. So you had to be right and exact, and that's why the perfection of these records are so on, because we had a lot of things going against us to finalize them. And then when you hit that start button, this is what you get with the Gangstar version.
There you go.
With a little bit of the Premier skip on the drums. Here we go.
Hey, yo, word, I'm getting tired of, man. Every time I try to catch a cab, I'm being stereotyped because the way I look, man.
Even if you show them the money,
Word.
they don't want to give you a
It's like they don't stop.
Where you guys want to go?
We want to go to Brooklyn, man.
Hey, yo, man, all it is, man, is a connection for the complexion, man.
Brooklyn? What do you want to go to Brooklyn for?
You can't go uptown, you can't go to Brooklyn.
Give me the money first before I can pull up on it.
I'm saying you gonna rob them black.
Let's do 5. It's kind of getting towards my lunch hour. I can't take you to Brooklyn. Go somewhere else.
Take this for example, young brothers want rep, cause in the life they're living, you can't have step. It starts with the young ones doing crowds for fun, and if you ain't down, you'll get played out, son. So let's get a car, you know I fly with. Get a dent, pull a screwdriver, and be off quick with the dope ride, yeah, and a rowdy crew. We could bag us a Benz and an Audi too, even a Jeep or van. We're getting ours, yo. Take a trip up the strip and be like Starr, so it doesn't matter if the cops be scoping. They can't do jack, that's why a young brother's open to do anything, anywhere, any place. Buck wild in another court case, it's the code of the streets.
in addition to this incredible song that we created and all of the things tied into it, the video was very interesting. It was directed by Lionel Martin of Classic Concepts. And if you know Classic Concepts, that spawned a lot of videos, which, of course, first of all, Classic Concepts comes from the early days of Video Music Box with Ralph McDaniels and Lionel Martin, a.k.a. the Vid Kid. And he started doing a lot of directing, and they were called Classic Concepts. And from that, banging videos came out. Even our video Take It Personal, Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison, all of the Boys to Men videos from Motown Philly to End of the Road. You notice all the black and white, but then it'd be blue jeans and stuff like that. That was their new thing, and that became a new phase that people started to copy. But Lionel Martin gets the ticket on that. And he also did Wu-Tang, Can It Be Also Simple, Cream, and so forth and so forth and so on. So many dope videos. And he came up with the concept of us struggling to get a cab in Brooklyn. And we were on the steps of our home where Branford Marcellus used to live on 374 Washington. We sat on our stoop and freestyled the intro of us trying to catch a cab. And then from there, we went into all of the visual stuff that went along with the song. And a shout to MOP, because after we met and became friends, that was the first video that they appeared with us in the Chop Shop. And they have masks on, but they were there. And from there, we built a relationship. So salute Billy and Fame and the whole MOP. And one of the most memorable videos of our career. Rest in peace to Guru.
Always.
Shout to the whole legacy of Gang Starr. And like he said in the lyrics, you got to be a pro. Do what you know when you're dealing with the code of the streets. And that, my friends, is what's up.
I know how to get to the airport.
Alright, cool. There you have it. Another episode of So What's Up? Salute to floppy disk from DJ Premier. You know what I'm saying? Off of when they hit singles, Colder Street off the Hard Art album and everything, which was awesome. Interesting to find out it came from a song that he produced for a new special, which is awesome as well too. That Guru produced. But anyway, good story as always from DJ Premier Primo. So if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.